on, everybody? Welcome to a new video. It is Tuesday. Welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday, a live that I host for creators, entrepreneurs, to just come on, be educated, motivated, and inspired. This is what we do. We come on and I answer questions to the best of my ability and with my expertise and wisdom and advice. And I try to give things for creators who want to expand within their in-studio, on location, lighting techniques, how to elevate within your efficiency as creators. This is a platform that you have to come on. You have to get on the live if you want to join in. You can also leave comments in, and as I'm going, if we look back down, we'll try to get them. But if you want to come on live and just chop it up, I try to help you eliminate pain points. I try to help you, navigate through a place of expanding within your creativity and things that allow you to advance within the creative industry and realm from my expertise. Thank y'all for supporting the live last Tuesday. It was dope. We dropped a lot of knowledge. People came on, we talked and chopped it up. So I'm super excited about it. Let me say this. No question is too big or too small. No question is too big or too small. You are more than welcome to come on the platform. You can be a beginner just starting out, intermediate or advanced stages of your creative realm and journey. But I'm excited to have this platform where we just come on and we educate, we motivate, and inspire each other to constantly just elevate. So if you want to drop some comments into the actual chat, you're more than welcome to. But the way this works is you come on and we chop it up and we get to it. So you're more than welcome to hit the actual camera icon that is right down here. And if you want to come on, we chop it up real quick. We got 30 minutes. Let's get it. Let's go. But I want to thank everybody for joining on the live. Tag a friend, tell a friend, drop them in the ad. Tell them, let's get this out there that Talk to Me Tuesday is live, and let's get it. It's important amongst photographers to have sense of community. Yes, it is absolutely important. That's how we all grow. We have to grow through community, because you never know, even though you don't look for it in that way, but you never know how through one person's advancement that it can then become your advancement and acceleration, and you get into the space of, being able to help and pull somebody up as well. So it's all about community here. It's all about educating, motivating, and inspiring. So if you want to click in, let's get it. Click the camera icon and I'll bring you up and you can ask me questions about creative, processes and ideas and all of that. What's up, Jay? Click on here, Jay. Come on. You here? What's going on? But, within the process of creativity, I think the reason I did this because I saw, how so many creators through the realm of this journey of photography and expanding within different realms that I've been going on, I've been seeing that a lot of people have been wanting to expound within the shooting more celebrities or getting on bigger sets or shooting tours. And through the opportunity that I've gotten the opportunity to do all of those things. And my goal is just to always educate people on how to get on those, floors as well and in those rooms to advance your careers. A lot of people think that, it's a thing that has to be so undercover within how you do it in underground, but it's not. All it just takes is, connection and opportunity, but also what it takes is the sense of knowing, if you don't know where to start, where you gonna go with it, But if you have people who have experienced those things and you're reaching out to those people and they're freely giving you advice and wisdom on how to do it, you take it, you customize it, you put it onto your, you put your sauce on it, and then you place yourself out there to, whoever wants to do it. So I'm excited. On set, definitely will next time. Well, listen, we'll go back to Jay's process of his question real quick. And like I said, if anybody wants to join the live, you're more than welcome. Click the camera icon and you come up. We talk about it, of what you want to expound on, what you want to kind of seek knowledge and wisdom on, and we tap in right there. So with Jay's question, it is, what's your retouching process? My retouching process, it varies through who I'm photographing, because a lot of the times the way that I retouch men and women are totally different. It also is contingent upon the creative direction that we're going, for through the process. And I'll tell you this as well, as you start to advance a lot of the times within your career and the demand of you becomes more frequent, you kind of start to step away from doing everything yourself. And I know within the creative realm of, creativity and retouching, you always want to have your stamp of approval on it, and also your sense of identity within your creative, creative process. Throughout the creative process as well of the, thing of advancing within your retouching, I think a lot of the times we don't separate from the fact of like taking our hands off of it because we want it to be ours. But like I said, as your career starts to progress and the demand of you starts to, get more frequent, you start to do things to do your best and hire the rest. So now what my creativity and my process of retouching is number one, I like to, when I go on set, I like to shoot as close as possible to the finished product. I want when I photograph, I be so mindful of the clothing, the detail within it, making sure that I have hair, makeup, wardrobe, creative directors, like attentive and focus on everybody's sense of job of what they're doing so that it makes me in post-processing my job more easier. So my first process when I come to actually editing is taking the image within Photoshop. For both men and women, I like to analyze what I'm doing. I get on, I look at all the imperfections, whether they're big or small. My process, as soon as I see the image and I analyze what needs to be done, I automatically start working in a workflow from top, middle, and bottom. When I go into actually doing that top, middle, and bottom, what it helps me to do is keep in line with the process of how I'm retouching, but also not getting mixed up with things, because sometimes we can get, we can get a little carried away while we're retouching and we start to just jump from portion to portion of the image. But what I do is I start from the top of the head, I work my way through the eye and nose, the T-zone right here, and then I go down to the bottom, and then I fix the clothing, and then I do the background or anything that needs to be started. But the first thing that I do is I start off with the spot healing tool. I use the spot healing tool to remove imperfections in the skin, whether they're on the backdrop, say you have some lens dust or anything like that is in the way. If you have lint that is on the clothes, on the hat, anything like that, that's my first process, to go in with the spot heal tool and clean up little imperfections that I see that are at the eye. I do this at a magnetized rate because I want to see all the detail. I don't go into crazy within the process of retouching because sometimes it then becomes a thing where we're getting carried away and we're losing time and we're on an image for 3 and 4 hours trying to get every detail. It doesn't need to be that. I always say, give the advice and wisdom of diminish but not remove. You still want the image to look as authentic to the character or the being that's in it. Especially when it comes to men, I like to keep a realistic aspect of how I present my workflow. The second thing I do is after I go through the process of getting the details or the small things, throughout the skin, whether it's a pimple, whether it's, something within the process of hair that's in the way, I go in and I change the image black and white. When I go in and I change the image black and white, I move the over so that while I'm moving the reds over, it allows me. All right, we're back. So what I do is I go in and I move all the reds over. And while I'm moving the reds over in the black and white, it allows me to see all the detail of imperfections. So if something within the actual image, while it's in black and white, if anything needs to be dodged or burned, I'm able to see it clear. Anything that darkens within the flow of taking in black and white, the reds all the way down, it's things that I need to actually dodge, meaning to take the tool and lighten it. If anything is kind of too highlighted, like see if this was an image of me and my nose was too highlighted, I would then go in and burn that. All right, we're back. We will be able to see that better when I'm in the flow of dodging and burning. So now it comes to the portion of after I start dodging and burning, and the reason that I actually continue to dodge and burn is because it's now not able to, let's say, if I go in and I start to maneuver and start retouching a lot with the clone tool, or I start retouching off the bat with the spot heal tool or the patch tool, it gets to a place where you're now starting to remove fine detail within the image, and it starts to become a little muddy. But when you start to go in and you change the image black and white, you move those reds down, what it allows you to do is then go into dodge and burning, and it doesn't break away the actual texture of the skin. You start to clean it up. You start to clean all those eye bags. You start to clean all of those, smile lines and all of that up through dodge and burn, and it keeps the skin in the same consistency. So once I feel that I have a really good process and flow and the image looks clean and it's polished, we diminish things. We did not remove things. We diminished it. Now it goes to the process where I like to go into the frequency separation portion. Shout out to my boy Prince Mason, because I use his Retouching Essentials pack. And what I like to do is go into the frequency separation and start working my way from the top to the bottom, going from the top of the head to the eyes to the bottom. And then I'll kind of stay into the same process of, technique. Rather, I'm moving the brush upward on one portion of the cheek. I'll do it on the same portion, try to keep everything cohesive. But that's pretty much it. I think when it comes to the process of retouching, it doesn't have to be anything that's overthought or over, thinking the process of magnitude of what needs to be done. I start off with the spot heal. Spot heal is for removing imperfections within the skin, bumps, pimples, stray hairs, things on the beard, things on the eyebrows, little eye booger. And then the second portion I go into is the dodge and burn aspect. And then after I dodge and burn, I go into the frequency separation. So that's my, kind of overview of how I go into the process of retouching. Now, if you want to see more detailed things within the retouching process and flow, click over to the link in my bio, head over to my YouTube, where I have a bunch of content that shows male skin retouching, how I do women's skin, and just all the things of the things. So I'm gonna come back into the actual system of this, and let's scroll down these comments. Now, I say, if you're just joining in, welcome to my Talk to Me Tuesdays. This is a platform where creators can come and you join in on the live, and I answer, we chop it up, and I try to give you, I give you wisdom from, my experiences within being in the realm of photography over a decade now. You have to tap in, click the box right here, and I'll answer your questions. We can chop it up. I like to see people face to face. I like to have that kind of connection, to see you, and we vibe off and we flow like that. So you're more than welcome to click on the live and join in, and we chop it up like that. So I'm gonna stroll through some more of these actual comments and see what we do. All right. So Kim says, Chris, how do I get better in areas you don't have clients in? Like, I get booked for events, but I want to do artistic editorial. All right, so you're a person who, say you're a wedding photographer, or you do event photography or any realm like that. The best thing that I always say is to shoot in the genre and of the aesthetic of the genre you're looking to go into. If I'm a wedding photographer and I'm wanting to now expound in the realm of getting more creative within the editorial or, artistic way of shooting photography, I'm going to look for TFP pages, trade for print. Now, places you can find this are on Facebook Marketplace, not Facebook Marketplace. You find this on Facebook group sites. You put in your city, say I live in Dallas. So I would put in Dallas, Texas. I would put in TFP or collaborations, or even put things out on social media to, notify people that I want to get into kind of shooting things and expanding the creative realm of photography in the niche that I want to go into. So what you do for that is you find your hairstylist. And I always say kind of analyze, what you want to do. If you want to get into more creative makeup artistry within the realm of photography you're going in, then you need to put that, what you're looking for. I want to do things that are more in the realm of, creative flows, talk about things in colors you want to use. If you want to do hairstyles that are more advanced within the creative flows, look for hairstylists who do those things. If you want to get into the portion of working with people who are fashion stylists and It's not the typical kind of fashion, the styling that is more corporate based, but it's more fashion. You list all the criterias of things that you want to expound in. And then what happens through those TFP pages, trade for print pages, is people hit you up. So you put together a list of people or a group of people, and then you get out and you shoot those things, you collaborate. But I think what you want to do when you start looking for, shooting in different realms that you're not used to shooting in, is people who are also looking to do the same thing. And through that, it allows you to start getting people who want to focus in on a niche. And, all of you guys get together and collaborate through that. So if you're looking to expand it within a different realm, but you don't know how to, check out, TFP pages, trade for print pages on Facebook. Look at it on different social media sites. Put hashtags in on Instagram, hashtags in on Twitter, and, see who wants to do things. Put old work that you have out so people can see the quality that you actually produce at, and that should definitely open you up to expounding in other realms of artistry. Okay, so let's cop down a little more. And thank you. You loving my cowboy hat? I actually got this today. All right, so we're going to come down a little more. Okay. And like I said, if you're just joining in, welcome to my Talk to Me Tuesday. This is a live where we do for 30 minutes. So if you have any questions and you want to tap in, you got until about 8 o'clock, and I'll be on here live just answering questions, chopping it up with you guys. I want to repeat that no question is too big or small to actually come in and, ask. It's all about us being in a room, in a space. I know that we're on live, but we're in this all together, and we're in a room, in a space where we can come in and, get the answers that we need to help us boost our creativity, help us expand within our business workflow, our efficiency within doing things. So if you want to tap in, you want to join live, you want to leave a question, let's get it. And I'm more than happy to, come on and we talk. All right. All right, we have some more questions in here. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, you guys. All right, the frequency separation pack that I use is from my guy, Prince Mason. He has a frequency separation pack that you can get, and it is a Photoshop, preset. And you can simply go in, and it's called the Retouching Essentials pack, and you can go in and you can, clean up things like that. But if you want to check out things that help you within the flow of your artistry and creativity, like color grading presets, photography lighting diagram books that help you get better at your lighting, head over to the link in the bio. Don't do it now while the live is happening. If you got a second phone, you do it. But head over to the link in bio. You can check out my photo store, which has different Photoshop presets to help you advance within your color grading skills. I have backdrop cleaning presets that help you in the realm of cleaning and eliminating dust and particles on backdrops that help you speed up your efficiency within your workflow. And also, I have 3 lighting diagram ebooks, the Light Bible, Light Play, and Light Play 2.0, which are ebooks that you can download instantly, and it helps you to get 1, 2, and 3 light setups. It helps you in your advancements of seeing how I light situations and I get the results, and I give you diagrams, I give you the actual image and the results and details and the equipment list. So head on over to the link in the bio and check it out. We got a few more minutes on live. So if you have any questions, definitely feel free to tap in, click the little camera button. And if you want to come on live, I would love to speak to you and we get through it and make it do what it do. All right, we have some more questions here. All right, so I have a professional photography business of 3 years, but I am also a church photographer. I'm struggling on how to merge the two on social media since they are very different aesthetics. Okay, so one thing that I will say is when it comes to shooting one realm of photography, or say you're doing multiple things and you like doing those multiple things, you want to promote those 2 niches of photography that you're in. Biggest form of advice I would give is now it's going into the realm of creativity within the aesthetics of what you're building on your social media platform. The aesthetic that you're building is how you want to convey the experience of what it's like working with a photographer of you. And sometimes when we are photographers who are well versed within doing other things, we don't want to pigeonhole ourselves into one niche. So what I would say, you need to actually start formulating different columns on your Instagram to utilize and time those out of the things you want to post. If you want to post church, photography and worship moments and all of these things, I would suggest maybe posting it on a day that is geared in, just to that particular platform. And then the next thing you want to do, say if you want to have things or details that are of, the equipment you use, you can have a day for that. And then the next day or, week, whenever you post these things, you have things that are in the other, form of photography that you shoot. And as you start putting those 3 different tiers together on your Instagram profile, people will be able to see a very distinctive separation of the quality of photography. That's number 1 there. That's going to be consistent. The aesthetic of photography that you bring within all 2 or 3 niches within that, whether it's church photography or you're doing weddings, and, personal branding or headshots or whatever. And what happens is you start to, within how you post the content, you build an aesthetic. You can color grade it in a certain way if you want to as well, so that all of it's cohesive. But you start to build an aesthetic that still shows the different variations of what you do, but everything is sectored off into a space that it's not mushed together and people can't kind of tell what you do, but you're still showing that one line is, church photography, one line is portraiture, one line is wedding photography. So I say, focus on kind of building the aesthetic and what works for your workflow, what works for, you as a creator, and, play with it. Use different softwares that allow you to create a plan for your Instagram. Do your research on platforms that allow you to create an aesthetic, create a color grade, so that everything's kind of the same thing. And that should help you, kind of make the difference between the aesthetics and, the realm of photography and creativity that you're doing. All right, so we got some more questions here. All right, so we have another question. Outside of lighting, like you did shooting the reunion tour images the last few years, what lighting / flash heads and umbrellas did you use? All right, so the lighting and, umbrellas and the modifiers, all of those things are kind of, I used a variation. When I did things that were more so the important photos, like the main key art, I always want to make sure that I'm doing things that are fail-proof. So I always want to revert to a brand that is, kind of fail-proof. Nothing's fail-proof, but things are fail-proof. I use all ProPhoto heads. I use the ProPhoto heads along with ProPhoto modifiers. I have a kind of formula of light that I like to, use a good base of photography, lighting. And it's one light that is pointed down 45 degrees and another light that is pointed up 45 degrees. And then I always build beyond that. So when it comes to kind of, the lighting that I use for my bigger productions, I'm always on ProPhoto. ProPhoto is always going to be a go-to. And then for things that are kind of, secondary, I like to use a lot of Godox products as well, because Godox you can, buy in bulk and it's not as, expensive, but it's still a workflow of lighting that allows you to get the results and it's not breaking the bank. But ProPhoto is always number 1. I like to use the large octaboxes. I like to use the beauty dishes. I like to use the 7-inch reflectors with grids on them to shape the light, to direct the light. And then the same thing when I go into the Godox aspect, I use the AD300 Pros, the AD600 Pros, the 400s, and kind of it varies between the workflow and the process. All right, so we have some more questions. We have about 3 minutes left, and then Talk to Me Tuesday is off. But let's go down. Let's see what we have. If anybody want to join in, if you're just coming here, this is Talk to Me Tuesday, where I give advice and wisdom on how to expand, how to be more educated, motivated, inspired in your creative realm. And I give you advice and wisdom to the best of my ability, customized to what you want, within and what you need within your workflow process. Also, I want to talk about this. I'm super excited to announce that I have my Zoom calls with Chris. I have my Zoom calls that I give one-on-one Zoom calls with you that is customized and tailored to whatever you do. You hit me up. We go over a consultation of, generally what you want to focus in on. I give you a plan. I give you, a process and a flow. And then we get off into advancing you within what you want to do. Also within that, I do group Zoom calls with Chris, where it's only 10 spots available, and we go in, we chop it up. It's about an hour, and I do a Q&A afterwards of, what you need. We do 30 minutes of teaching and the breakdowns of it. And then from there we go in. The classes on the actual group calls are most so focused in on certain topics, but the one-on-one Zoom calls, if you want to tap in for that, that's more so of the realm of customized directly to you as the creator in your needs and what you need to advance within the creative workflow. So let's go down to some of these comments again. All right, so where do you go to outsource? Where do I suggest you go to outsource your imagery? One thing that I like to do, because I start to work at a demand of doing so many photo shoots and things that's coming up, I'm good at retouching. I'm really good at retouching, but I always want somebody who has the time, number one, to do it, and also the ability to allow me to do what I do best, getting on live and, teaching and educating, and then also running a company. And while they're working, I'm doing what I need to be doing in the same context. So when it comes to retouching, I like to look for retouchers, use different sites, or through the process, retouchers will reach out and they'll ask to, retouch my images, and I'll see whatever works well for my workflow. I know for me, I like them to just retouch skin, because when you retouch skin, that's kind of something fail-proof that you can do. You kind of got my aesthetic. We've built a relationship to the point that you know what I like my images to look like. But for the after portion of it, I like to always do the actual color grading. So I would say, look on, line for different retouchers. Type in retouching in your area. I like to also do overseas. So while I'm sleeping, they're working, and while I'm working, they're sleeping. So whenever I want my images, they're working on it. And then when I wake up, they have them to me. And that's kind of just the process. But I would suggest, doing your research, looking for retouchers, asking for suggestions on your stories, on your post, and seeing what comes up, from there, what people can kind of give you to, find who works best for you. All right, so I'm gonna go down and see what we have as well. All right, so I guess that we are at 8 o'clock, 8:01. And I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in to my Talk to Me Tuesday. I hope you guys got your questions answered. Like I said, for the next ones that's coming up, I would love to talk to you. Tap in online. You can always click the camera button. No question is too big or too small, but we're all here to be educated, motivated, and inspired. I always want you to tap in so that you can, get what you need to advance you. But definitely, if you're looking to expand within your studio lighting workflow and also your creativity within taking your color grading to a new level, make sure you head over to my bio, check out Chris Photo Studios, my photo store, support the, lighting books. We have Light Play 2.0, we have Light Play and the Light Bible, giving 1, 2, and 3 light setups to help you advance within that. But then also, if you want to start advancing your color grading, I have so many Photoshop presets that you can tap in and purchase as well. I want to thank y'all once again for tuning in to a Talk to Me Tuesday, every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Be sure to tap in next week. I'll see you back here, and get your questions ready, get your things available, and I'll see you for another Talk to Me Tuesday. And I look forward as well to having y'all online for my one-on-one training program and also group training within Zoom calls with Chris. So let's tap in, let's stay connected. And I thank y'all so much for the love, support, and coming on live and all the things you guys do. So I'll talk to you later. See you next Tuesday on Talk to Me Tuesday. Bye, y'all.